From the News Talk 1340 KROC-AM and 96.9 FM newsroom, here's Andy Brownell.
Good afternoon. It is partly cloudy, 73 in downtown Rochester at 5:03. A compromise rideshare plan developed by Democrats in the Minnesota legislature and the Minneapolis City Council is headed to the floor of the Minnesota House for debate, even though Uber and Lyft, the two largest providers of rideshare services, have threatened to leave the state if it becomes law. The measure cleared a key committee vote today in the House, and the debate included this exchange between Republican State Representative Marion Rarick and Minneapolis Democrat Hoden Hassan, who is the sponsor of the legislation.
It's been kind of known that there's an agreement, but how is there an agreement when Uber Lyft don't agree?
The dollar amount is an agreement between the House, the Senate, and the city of Minneapolis.
That's an interesting way to legislate. I wouldn't choose that path, but maybe Uber and Lyft will stay around. I don't know.
Hassan says an offer that was put forward by Uber indicates the company is not serious about negotiations, and that's why the legislature is moving forward with the bill with just a week left in the 2024 legislative session. The University of Minnesota Board of Regents met today to listen to public comments about a proposed tuition hike. U of M administrators have proposed a 4.5% increase for Minnesota residents and a 5.5% increase for out-of-state students. For the in-state students, the proposed increase would raise average tuition to more than $15,000. The regents are expected to vote on the increase next month. If it is approved, it would be the largest tuition hike at the U of M since 2010. The Ramsey County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the woman who was shot and killed by St. Paul police officers Monday night. Pepsi Heinel was 41 years old. A preliminary investigation found that she was fatally wounded by officers after she pointed a handgun at them as they were responding to a mental health crisis. The St. Paul Police Department today released excerpts of videos recorded by the body cameras worn by the officers involved in the deadly incident. The videos and still images that were gleaned from the videos clearly show Heinel grabbing a handgun and pointing it in the direction of the officers before they opened fire. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is in charge of the investigation. A Rochester man has been sentenced to 13 months in prison for convictions in 3 felony cases. One of the cases involved the theft of a motor vehicle that resulted in a large law enforcement response that disrupted the morning commute for many travelers along 3rd Avenue Southeast between the Government Center and the Mayo Civic Center. Court records indicate 20-year-old Tevin Smith-Thomas was given credit for 88 days he has already spent in jail. Traffic was detoured off a section of Highway 14 in Winona County for more than 4 hours today due to a crash involving a semi-truck. The State Patrol says 23-year-old Jordan Kleist of Houston was transported to a hospital in La Crosse with non-life-threatening injuries after the truck he was driving rolled onto its side in the south ditch along Highway 14 between Stockton and Winona. This was around 9 a.m. A head-on crash in LeSueur County yesterday claimed the life of a 72-year-old man from Shoreview. Officials say Ronald Otterston was a passenger in a car that went over the center line on a rural highway just east of New Prague and collided with a pickup truck headed in the opposite direction. The New Richland couple in the pickup suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Another fatal crash was reported in the Twin Cities. Brooklyn Park police say a motorcyclist died after he lost control and collided with a car yesterday evening. His name has not been released. The Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office has released the name of a recent drowning victim. 23-year-old Miguel Angel Taco was rushed to the Hennepin County Medical Center last Sunday afternoon after he was pulled out of the water in Lake Madamakaska. He died yesterday. Officials say the Minneapolis man's death has been ruled an accidental freshwater drowning. No injuries were reported, but a fire reported yesterday afternoon completely wiped out a home near Zumbro Falls. Firefighters from Lake City, Zumbro Falls, and Mazeppa responded to the blaze and were at the scene for several hours. An investigator from the State Fire Marshal's office is looking for the cause of the fire. And the 76th annual Governor's Fishing Opener begins tomorrow morning in Lake City. And Governor Tim Walz says it'll be kicking off one of Minnesota's most important industries.
It's $4.5 billion of economic activity, which improves everyone's quality of life and standard of living. So I think, we're a top 5 state with fishing licenses. We have more people fish per capita than almost anybody but Alaska. Those types of things make a difference.
The last time Lake Pepin hosted the fishing opener was back in 1981 with Governor Elkwee. The Minnesota Twins in action tonight, hoping for yet another win. This time they will take on the Blue Jays in Toronto. For more local news, go to krocnews.com. The official weather eye forecast, clear skies overnight, low near 50. Tomorrow, we're expecting sunshine, a little bit of a northwest breeze, high around 70. Clear tomorrow night, the low 52 degrees. And on Sunday, Mother's Day, a possibility of storms developing in the afternoon, otherwise sunshine and a high in the low 80s. A low near 50 Sunday night with a chance of scattered storms. A slight chance of storms Monday, expect a high of 70. The same for Tuesday with that slight chance of storms. On Wednesday, a better chance of scattered showers and a high of 68. And again, there is still a possibility of some rain on Thursday, otherwise partly cloudy. The high still in the upper 60s. In Rochester, right now in the downtown, it's partly cloudy.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.